Hi and greetings of the day. My name is Ketan. I'm a hotelier and a learning and development professional. Now, being professionals, we have always, many a times, or at least sometimes, come across this particular two words or probably a phrase relating to company culture. Now, whilst we are all experiential in company culture, it becomes a bit difficult to mention, or if somebody asks you to define what exactly is company culture, can you define it? It becomes a tad bit difficult. Now, if one really has to define a company culture can be defined as a set of shared values, goals, attitudes, practices that characterize an organization. So basically, it's all about the way a person feels, or collectively a group of individuals or people feel about the work they do, the values that they bring into the organization, where they see the company is growing, what are the values which gets instilled into them by the organization, so on and so forth. Now, collectively, all of these, it forms the culture, or rather a company culture. But a thought which often comes to our mind is, how is it now, whilst we are experiential in culture or company culture, how is it that a company culture gets set, or how is it that a company culture is put to birth? Now, my this talk is just about to try and understand, basically an attempt to understand how a company culture is brought to life, to nurtured and instilled with people. Now, just to make it a bit more simpler, let me give you two dates. The first being 16th of April 1853 and the second being 8th of June 2014. I'm sure these dates would not ring a bell to you. Well, let me give you another clue. It is related to the people of the maximum city, my city, that is Mumbai. But I'm absolutely sure even a local person moving in and around Mumbai would not have anything to do with these dates unless and until they were reminded as to what had happened on these two dates. All right, now let me cut the suspense. Now, on these two dates, that is 16th of April 1853, the first suburban train ran in Mumbai from the erstwhile Victoria terminus, which is now called as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj terminus, till Thane, and that completely revolutionized the way people are traveling in Mumbai, and on a larger and a broader spectrum, how people are traveling in India as well. What happened on 8 June 2014? Well, again, a date when the people of Mumbai were introduced to a revolutionary mode of transport, that is the Mumbai Metro. Now, what is the difference between these two systems? I'm not going to share the nitty-gritties because our talk is simply not based on that. But the radical difference that I can share with all of you right over here is the way people use these systems and what is their attitude. Now, the Mumbai suburban trains, or Mumbai locals as we call, now when this mode of transport, or when this system was introduced, the city was not what it is today. The city started growing, and therein rightfully the Mumbai local came to be called, nicknamed or dubbed as the lifeline of the city of Mumbai, because it definitely and actually aids in transporting a person or a local in Mumbai to and from their home to their work and vice versa. But it is a task. In the current situation, it is a massive task for any commuter of a Mumbai local. Now, why is that so? Because the city has grown exponentially, and with that has grown its population. So whilst the Mumbai local, it's still the same, the amount of footfall has drastically increased. And during rush hours, it is very, very, very difficult to either board or either alight a Mumbai metro, a Mumbai local. Very difficult to get a foothold just to travel either to work or to home. And that, if I have to compare it, if I have to actually compare a commuter of Mumbai local, I would compare it with a Roman gladiator, because one person actually has to take down at least minimum two people around that person to either board or alight the train. Now let's fast forward to 2014. Now this was the year, as I shared earlier, that Mumbai also got introduced to Mumbai Metro. Now I'm not sure whether Mumbai Metro was worried about this particular thought, but I for one was really worried, and that doubt was, how is Mumbai Metro going to bear the onslaught of a Mumbai local traveler? And I'm sure this was a doubt which was there in the minds of other citizens of Mumbai. Now, what Mumbai Metro had was, they had data and they had knowledge. The data came in from the knowledge, and the knowledge came in from the various mass rapid transport systems which were operational around the world. And the one shining example was right from our country, from the capital of New Delhi, from the Delhi Metro. Now what happened is, how this question of how Mumbai Metro, a commuter from Mumbai Metro can be literally sensitized into not roughing up the Mumbai Metro. Now how did it happen? The Mumbai Metro, or the officials of Mumbai Metro, they created a set of rules and regulations which, in a structured manner, before the metro was initiated, was communicated to the common traveler through various social media, through print media, through the televised media. When the metro service was actually started, that is on 8th of June 2014, they had deployed marshals. They were trained marshals who were guiding the commuters of the metro. And how were they guiding it? Now they were ensuring that the set of regulation which was commuted to the commuters was followed. That's it. And fast forward now, today, that is, Mumbai Metro has been into service, into operations for 6 years, and not one incident where the local commuters have roughed up the system. And what exactly happened is, in simple layman's term, a culture was created, a culture was given birth. And how did it happen? Because Mumbai Metro decided to sensitize its patrons even before its operations got established. And that is basically, I think, how a culture even in the company is established. Because compare Mumbai Metro and Mumbai Local. Mumbai Local, like I said, it's a mad rush. The only rule over there is not to follow any rules. But a Mumbai Local, people were sensitized, the marshals may sensitize, is that people cannot crowd in front of the door of the carriage. If they have to board the train, they need to queue up. They need to keep a space vacant in front of the door, so that they allow the alighting passengers to alight the train first. Once when all the passengers have alighted, then everybody will board the train, but in a structured queue. And this practice has now become a culture. And it's not just about this practice. There were many other good practices, like keeping the station premises clean. That was one practice. Something very basic and simple. It's a courtesy which you can barely and rarely see in a Mumbai Local, is that elderly citizens, expectant mothers, and probably sick and injured people, irrespective of the gender, are offered seats to be seated, so that their journey is comfortable. Also, apart from that, the safety and security of the premises, which first starts with you yourself, then your commuters, and then the entire Mumbai Metro premises or the facility. Now, these are some of the regulations which were instilled. And how did it happen? Did it just happen by wishful thinking? Maybe yes, but beyond wishful thinking, maybe people had to be sensitized. It was through discipline, through sensitivity, through constant monitoring, these systems were instilled. And let me give you one more instance. When the Mumbai Metro had initially started its operations, the marshals, which I initially mentioned, which were there to maintain discipline for boarding and alighting from the train, initially they were there from the time the operation started till the time the operation ceased for the day. But now if you see, they are only present, not ideally as marshals to maintain discipline, but just to provide a supporting hand to the commuters. Why? Because now it has become the onus of the commuters themselves. It's become a matter of pride that yes, they are behaving in a very so to say disciplined manner, in a very civilized manner. And I think this is what culture is all about. This is all about what you bring into the table and what your company gives you in return. And this is all how a culture is brought to life, how a culture is created, how a culture is nurtured. And that's exactly what I wanted to share with everybody. I would be reaching out to you again very soon, more talking on the culture. But till then, stay safe and goodbye.